No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today, I'm bringing you something that I'm pretty sure has never been done in the history of podcasting, which is I'm bringing you a conversation with someone who specializes in a side of the internet that is not widely publicized, yet most people know about its existence. Today, we're having a conversation with someone who, amongst other exploits on the internet, is a professional when it comes to the banning and unbanning of Instagram accounts. Does that sound accurate?
I'd say so. Just about right.
I guess maybe let's just kind of zero in on that. How did you enter into the world of having this kind of power over social media?
Think to yourself like anybody else that got their Instagram page banned. Excuse me. Like think about how many times have you had somebody call you and be like, "Bro, my page got banned. My page got hacked."
I'm in the world all the time.
So same thing happened to me years ago, and I'm like, imagine at this point, this is like 6 years ago, and I'm just working like I'm a normal person at this point. I'm setting tile, doing construction, and I'm living in my car. No money, nothing. And I lost my own personal page, and the only reason that I needed it back was because I had like all of my like family member photos. And this is the number one thing, by the way, like the people that come to me now, one of the number one reasons that they need their account back, aside from the people that need it for business, the people that need it because they make money on Instagram, is they just want their loved ones back. You know, they want the photos of them. There's accounts they follow that are private that they can't, you know what I mean? Obviously you can't follow back because the person is unfortunately deceased, right? So for me, when that happened, anyways, I started looking and trying to find somehow, some way how I can get my account unbanned, right? And I don't want to get into too much detail. Obviously, it's like anything else. I don't want to like give up my secret
sauce.
Yeah, but it's like anything else. I will say it to everybody publicly, and I'll put it this way: I could give you the recipe anyways. The sauce is not going to taste the same. You know what I mean? It's like anything else. You have 1,000 podcasts out there. There's only one No Jumper, right? There's 1,000 people that can have these same cameras and same staff and same thing, but there's only one No Jumper, right? It's the same concept. So for me, when I was able to find that person, I realized like the amount of money that person charged me. I realized really quick. I was like, I feel like I'm kind of onto something, right? And from that point, like I didn't realize I had a business at that point either. So I didn't think about it. Got my page back from the person. A couple weeks later, another one of my friends mentioned they lost their page, you know, and I was like, okay, I paid X amount of dollars that time. Now let me charge this guy a couple grand. Let me make a couple dollars. And when I did, it just, from that point, that first person was one of the, like, it was a very, very prominent LA trapper. And from then it kind of just snowballed into the business that I have now. Like in the trap community in LA, Houston, Miami, you know, most of the Midwest as well. When I mentioned Houston and Texas, like you honestly, you can't really like get on Instagram and trap now without coming through Unlocked.
Really?
You know, bro, I have over 200 people paying us monthly just to be able to be on Instagram. You know, I sat here and I watch half of these people that come on and talk to you, and you look, I'll ask you this way. The last couple of people that came on here, how many times have you had your own people that you're interviewing tell you they got their Instagram page banned and they had to pay to get it back multiple times?
Well, it strikes me that the smart people, no offense, Cali plug, but I feel like
I didn't want to name drop, I feel like for multiple reasons.
Smart people would not admit that they've spent money on it because I've talked to stars who have told me that they paid to get it back 20 times. And over and over and over, they just have to keep paying to get it back. And I'm like, you realize what's happening to you, right? Like the same person that's getting you it back.
You're getting extorted. So the difference, the reason, that's what I was saying when I go back to the point of saying like, you could have my plugs, you could have, like I said, the recipe, the sauce doesn't taste the same. The reason is like, for us, we didn't come in and want to extort everybody else. Obviously, like there's other people out there that are doing the same thing, right? Faceless with my first $1 million I made on Instagram, I never showed my face, ever. You know what I mean? Like I started the page while living in my car. Those same people that are getting extorted like that on Instagram, like you said the same thing to Cali Plug. You said, hey, you know, you probably shouldn't say that you're willing to pay for your page back 1 million times. Somebody like that, for us, we're not going to go and just keep banning them over and over and over. For us, there's a better solution. Instead of, for every time I ban somebody, it costs money.
What's the solution?
The solution is making them pay monthly.
Okay, so you pay like a monthly, people will pay a monthly fee for protection.
Absolutely.
Why are certain people's accounts at such risk? Explain the climate of Instagram these days that allows for this to even be a thing.
So it's not that necessarily that their accounts are at risk. Like I'll make it very, very simple for everybody to understand. Like Instagram, Facebook, Meta, these are some of the smartest people in the world, right? In the fucking world.
And that's why it's always baffled me that it seems like this system is so easily gamed when there's the smartest minds at work on it.
So, and I'm not going to say what I think or what I know. I'm going to just ask a very simple question. Well, I'm just going to bring up the Cash App scammers alone. How many times do you go on Instagram and you see people give me $100, I'm going to send you 5,000 on Cash App?
I think the same thing. I think how Cash App, biggest company in the world, and they're allowing this to happen.
No, bro, Cash App. Who cares about Cash App? When you look at the top left corner, it says sponsored. There's ads behind it. So you're telling me the smartest company in the world can't make one algorithmic change to catch certain verbiage to change the whole thing from like you being able to promote any type of Cash App scam, stuff like that. This is just one example, by the way. Why? Because of the money. Do you know how much money they make from these guys paying ads? It's just like this.
But Facebook is making the money from those ads.
Meta. Right. It's just like this. The same people that are getting their account unbanned. You don't think for a second the whole unbanned community, you don't think they could just go and spend a couple dollars and stop all of us? Ask yourself. How much money do these people have? It's not like they can or they can't. Like there's so much. Look, 5 years ago, you didn't have any of this. Cash App was out, all this was out, but you didn't have any of this like bullshit on Instagram going on.
Right.
And they let it happen. The app gets updated. How many times does your app get updated?
I don't know. It's on auto,
but every couple months you'll notice Instagram gets updated. They're always fixing bugs.
But my perspective on the weed game has always been that the trappers, as you said, is that they get their competition's pages deleted left and right because they are in such direct competition that it behooves them to get their enemies taken care of on that. A
lot of these guys come to me and they think somebody else got them banned and they got their self banned. Like Instagram made it very easy for you guys to trap. I will say it again. Instagram made it so easy for you guys to trap and sell weed on there.
In the early days, you're saying?
Today is the easiest time for you to start a trap business on Instagram.
Really?
What is a trap business? You start an Instagram page, okay? You start a Telegram. You pay how many celebrities do we both know that will go? You can DM them. Any normal Joe Schmo can DM them and say, how much is story promo? I'm giving you the whole, like now you're a trap business. The guy says $3,000. Let's say I could name 1 million artists that will do it for $3,000. Big artists, very big artists.
Right.
Now you paid him $3,000. Now you have a Telegram that's popping that has people coming into it. You don't even have to have the bags, have the distro, nothing. You can find somebody else that's already a setup distro, and every person you send to him, you're going to get paid per bag that you sell. Do you understand? Like look. All these trappers that you see today, it's not that these are amazing drug dealers. What a trapper is today in the modern world is these are great marketers. This is what these people are. That's the difference. It's the same thing as if you give somebody else the same power I have, the same access I have, whatever. It's just I'm better at marketing it than you. That's all. You know what I mean? I'm better at closing clients than you. It's not trapping today is so much different than a couple years ago. Like 10 years ago, if you owe your drug dealer money, he sends you a message or calls you and says, we're going to come and beat the shit out of you and come to your house, blah, 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 right? Today, if you owe your drug dealer money, he says he's going to post you on your story and on his story and put you on blast. You see the difference?
Right.
It's a completely different world.
Everything's clout based.
Look, it's the same thing as when we see on the news when they tell us if the U.S. goes to war, we're not going to be in a war where it's like people are invading beaches and jumping out of lakes and fighting. No, it's going to be cyber warfare.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. As far as like the trappers banning each other, when I said that they get themselves banned, they make it so easy on Instagram to trap you. Just like, bro, just don't say for sale. There, I just gave you guys the biggest secret right there. I'm not going to say all of them, but put 2 and 2 together.
But a lot of times when I'm looking through the pages of like, the not the rappers necessarily, but like the rapper's homie, and he's posting up his menu or whatever, and it's like kind of like weird convoluted language to get across the point of like how much he's charging for a pound of weed or an ounce of weed or whatever. And it's kind of like it's like super hard to read sometimes because they're just using like weird characters in it and stuff. And I noticed that like the gangbanger dudes do the same thing, where I will read like a paragraph from a gangbanger on Instagram, and it's not even like that they want to write it in such a convoluted way that it's almost impossible to read. It's that they have invented a new language to avoid the algorithm being able to detect what they're talking about. Because I know a ton of gangbanging ass rappers who've got their social media accounts deleted on account of like literally just saying some gangbanger ass in their stories.
And that applies the Instagram algorithm as far as verbal, like you speaking verbal words that it'll pick up to ban you or to strike your account. These are things that are like for violence, bullying, or suicide. When it comes to the drug thing, whatever, I'm telling you, it's for text. It's for when you post a Telegram link and you're saying for sale, box for sale, 10K, whatever. You're putting a dollar amount, for sale, this, tap. The word tap in is the worst thing you can.
Tap in is bad.
Bro, I mean, like you have to think like this. If they figured out for sale, you're gonna figure out tap. Like they're getting better at it too. That's why. Ask yourself this: some of the biggest rappers we know, like I'm not gonna say some of the ones that we've paid to do promo, but we've paid multiple A-list rappers. I'll tell you privately, or I can say it if you guys want to bleep it. I can say it. You know, is it okay if you want me to?
Just say it. We'll bleep it.
Yeah, we did who else? We did.
Saying you did what with them?
They did for Trapper promo.
Oh,
and
okay.
each one of these guys are in the six figures. Every single one of them.
You have to pay them six figures in order to get them to what base? You're talking about the feed post that will be saying, "Hey, my people's at so and so. We went with the rah rah rah."
He won't even do that.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to do that.
No,
but you do see a lot of big rappers do that.
We have multiple with him, but all he'll do is put the Telegram link and say, "Tap in, hit up my boy." That's it. That's it.
Just that.
Not even more than a 10-second video.
And
that's it.
So is there danger in saying tap in with this Telegram group? And what is it about Telegram that's so much safer?
As far as using it for the menu?
Yeah.
People, myself, I never understood it either. Why so many people feel like Telegram is so safe. Like at least with other things, you have multiple things you can use. You have multiple options. It's like everyone that traps is on Telegram.
I've only been on Telegram to talk to like one person at a time, so I don't really know what having a Telegram chat is like. I feel like maybe I should.
You don't have, it's not necessarily, you could have a chat if you wanted to. Most of these people have their menus. You can't comment, you can't type anything. When you click on there, you have a drop-down menu, you can scroll through, and there's, of course, when they do it, they have their prices in there, they have their shipping info, hit up this number, hit up this, and it's a very sophisticated system. Like These people have teams, they have everything set up. I don't want to get too far into that, you know what I mean, and like feel like I'm like snitching out the game. More power to them. That's what they do.
Right, because you don't really take interest in what they're selling. You're just in the business of getting the Instagrams back or getting them gone, right?
Yeah, for us, man, look, for us, the amount of power that we hold, like I could sit there and I could really make some people's lives hard. And when I first started out, when I realized how much power I had, I did that, you know, and I don't want to like name drop whatever, you know, like I sent you guys ahead of time screenshots and proof of that, but I don't want to, like, I won't name drop and say who or what, but
yeah,
like
you showed me a bunch of people who I have interviewed in the last year, let's just say, who were buying fake followers, getting their enemies banned, getting their accounts back, which is obviously that's kind of like the more common thing, and
paying monthly, paying for me to delete their address off of my story. And we're just within those screenshots, there's over $150,000 right there between three people.
But when you say paying to get their address deleted off my story, what are you doing? Why are you in the business of extorting people like that, like airing out their privacy and then trying to demand a ransom? That's what you're talking about?
So when you look at it on the surface, 100% what you said is right and sounds right. Correct. So it's like for us, when somebody comes to us and they end up in the situation where they're paying us monthly for their account back, right? For me, I have a couple options. It's like I can sit there and keep deleting their account, doing this, that, whatever, and then it's like what's the most valuable thing to you is where you live. What's the most private thing? You're a trapper. You know what I mean? Like you sell drugs.
Right.
End of the day, as much as anybody that's going to watch this is going to hate to hear it, this, that, or the other, it's like, it's no different than like how many of these people, I'm not going to say names, but you live here in LA, you know how many people here that are the biggest trapper. You can't be a huge trapper here in LA without paying tax. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really had to encounter it.
No, but
I hear little things. Yeah.
You've heard, and down to the people that pull up on you for interviews, you see how they pull up, and they pull up that way because they pay tax and because they can pull up that way. You know what I mean? It's for a reason. It's no different than like, it's just, that's the internet version of it. You know, it's how many times do you think a new brand comes up and I have my own clients send me daily different brands that they just launched. And they're like, hey bro, it's a new brand we just launched. Please don't with it. Please don't attack it, ban it, this, that. Like, it's just, it is what it is.
So if you really, but I mean, what you're describing there though is like, which I think is going to make people think you're particularly sinister, is you're describing like having someone who doesn't owe you money, but then you decide that you want to get more money out of them, so you start airing out their private details. That's going to strike quite a few people, I think. Is that what you're describing?
No, they were already on a monthly plan.
Okay.
They stopped paying.
Oh, so it's people who do owe you money.
Yeah, it's just you stop paying. You know what I mean? Instead of you paying 10 grand a month, now I'm going to make you pay 50 and put you back to 15 grand a month. It's very simple. You know what I mean? If I don't post again on my social media ever again, ever, I'm going to wake up every month to $600,000. 622. Travis, how much am I allowed to ask? Travis, how much? 620. Can you check 620 what? A month?
Around that. I don't want to give specific numbers.
Around 620 a month.
But do you live in fear that these people are going to kill you? Because realistically, these are the kind of people who probably would kill someone over
I'm not going to
money.
say your assistant's name, but your assistant asked me the same thing. She's like, why are you coming with 2 security guards? Why'd you pull up the way you pulled up? She asked me the same question. And I explained to her very simply. It's like, you're making $2 million a month off of your Instagram and your Telegram. I come and I take it away and make you pay for it back. And I make it public and I post it and I expose you. It's the same thing we did to the Blacklist. The Blacklist, though, it's like, you know the page, the Blacklist, obviously. The Blacklist, imagine No Jumper, but for trappers.
Really?
Very sick page.
I got to
for a long time, she you know, this person had an amazing thing going, right? They could have done a great offshoot. Like you mentioned it once that you said, just like all these podcasts about trappers, this and that, they don't really take off. They don't do that well. It's a very niche community. But the page that, you know, this person had was very, very good, right? But imagine you have a No Jumper platform, right? But for the trap community. It's no different than you hitting up a rapper and you have something that you could air out and you tell them like, hey, 10 bands are on me air, or
I would never do that, for the record.
And they did nothing. You fabricated it. Just they did nothing wrong at all, and that's what that page was. That's one of the biggest reasons that I have so many, as much as sinister as what I do sounds like. That's why I have so many of these LA guys coming to us. Is like Blacklist alone, like imagine all this platform was a media page for trappers to see all all the different people that got caught, people that got arrested, etc., things that are going on in LA, whatever. A media page for trap. Right. And this is like this whole time I'm thinking it's somebody like me running it, whatever. It's like a 52-year-old woman running this page and she's going around and extorting these people. And these are the same people coming to me. And you're asking me, you're like, it sounds sinister for you to ban this page, make them pay, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I have a client that just had to pay her 40 grand with a threat of getting posted on her viral page, which at the time she's extremely viral. If you post that you're a brand scamming, you're done. Like it is what it is. You know how social media is. It's very hard to repair something sometimes when once it's posted. And they come to me and they ask, they're like, I want this page gone.
But is there part of you that has a hard time sleeping at night because this sounds kind of evil?
No, for me, you know, I had to accept very, very early that I can't, you know, like I can't live in a regular neighborhood. You know what I mean? I can't, like, I'm in a very, very, very secure situation, you know? So for me, yes, like if you're asking if it's hard to sleep at night, like it's not hard for me to sleep at night in the sense of my conscience, you know what I mean? But it's also a big cost. Social media, we don't have like an overhead, right? Like you have this amazing studio, you have all these employees, you have a huge overhead, right? I have a team, I have employees, all this, whatever, but I don't have anywhere near the overhead you have. So for me, it's nothing if I have to pay $10,000, $20,000 a month for security. It's nothing at all. You know what I mean? So it's like
security is always the number one thing you want to spend money on.
Yeah, and it's like, look, the way I look at it is this: If I don't do it once, someone else is going to do it. It's the classic term of anybody that does something fucked up to make themselves feel better, right?
So are there people out there who have like a weed page and then they have multiple versions of you tapping in at the same time, threatening to get them deleted if they don't do business?
No. There's only one of me. The only thing that I have that I would say that I do have multiple of me going is we built a whole separate, like we built a whole separate team Unlocked. You know, people think about like how people sell online coaching, mentorship, all this. I never wanted to do online coaching or mentorship because I felt like I'm like, dude, I'm 27 years old. What the fuck I'm going to coach you about? I see so many people that are my age that are like doing life coaching, this, that, like, bro, you haven't done shit in your fucking life. Like, what are you going to coach? Right. For me, I know what I've like already done, proven, built, made money on. And that's like, we built a team Unlocked and people pay $7,500 just to have access to the services I have. The same access that I have. The same. So you come to me and you ask me, I need this page back or gone, whatever. The price I give you is for the members that pay the $7,500 that go and join. Those people get it for less than half, right? And then that's their spread, right? They go and they resell it. So it's like what you're asking to answer your question. No, if there's a bunch of people that go and do that, no. But we built a whole nother like army of people that's all they do. You go and you type in just Unlocked on Instagram, you see endless amount of people.
Fake accounts.
No, these are all ours.
Real
you
ones. Oh,
okay. People come to me to delete fake accounts. How embarrassing would it be if I had fake accounts of me?
Really?
Think about that.
Yeah, that would be kind of embarrassing.
It'd be kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You weren't capable of doing the service that you're claiming to be capable of, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing as you know. Look, for me, the thing that I feel like I did a lot differently than a lot of these guys, like there's a lot of those faceless pages on IG that like you can hit up for followers, this, that, get your page back, etc. Like for me, like we built a whole brand around it, you know, and the name itself, it just kind of happened on accident. The whole Unlocked name, it just happens that like Unlocked and Unbanned are the same thing and they sound good together.
How crucial is it for you to have connections with like Facebook employees? So how big a part of this whole puzzle is it to have somebody on the inside?
You know, what's really unfortunate is so many people really, really, truly believe in their heart that it's like, it's somebody at Meta or at Facebook banning you. And it's not. It's not. You know, if everybody watching this wants to, you know, you could finish the interview and go watch after, but you can watch the Joe Rogan podcast that he did with Mark Zuckerberg, right? This is the founder of Meta, and he said it himself. You know, the bans, unbans, verifications, all of this is done by a third-party company. Meta doesn't want to be judge and jury. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of times, even if you get like a report, if you've ever gotten a story removed or something like that, it'll say our automated system did X, Y, Z, you know, and they use these third-party companies, you know, that are all across the world.
Right.
You know, there's no rep at Meta. Like we all know people that work at Facebook. Meta, they can't do shit for you.
What if my account is not capable of being recommended to other pages? Because that's what my account status has been for many years now, and that's basically what I'm blaming for why my followers haven't grown at all. It's like I can't be suggested and shit for some reason.
So a lot of people use the term shadow ban, right? A lot of you've heard that a million times. I'm shadow banned. My page doesn't get recommended. I'm not on the explore page. So the way that, you know, again, it's not like somebody going in Meta and picking your page and being like, we don't want Adam's page to be pushed. It's completely automated in that front. They have way more other shit that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis than to be looking at accounts. And if they look at somebody's account, it's to decide if we're deleting it or not. Andrew Tate's a great example. When he got banned, it's not banned by like an automated system. No, this is that
was a big decision for them. Yeah,
exactly. So, but there's not that team of people making that decision for us to let's make Adam's views go down. No, if they're going to spend that much time, and think about how much they pay each of these people. If they're going to spend that much time on you, bro, they're just deleting you or not deleting you. It's one of those two. The reason that people get that type of shadow ban, this, that, they notice their views down is obviously a huge multitude of reasons because of the way that the algorithm is built for you, for somebody like you who's completely active every single day. You're getting reposted by multiple high profile people, whatever. Of course, you should be like, bro, my page should be crazy, right? Crazy getting views, right?
Do I have any way to get my account back into good standings without? Because like I've asked for the review a million times because I've just had. It's not even that many. It's like maybe 4 or 5 stories removed over the course of like the past few years for the dumbest shit ever, for things that like don't make any fucking sense. One time I posted something and it was a screenshot of Facebook of me calling my employee / brother-in-law Josh a and I fucking drew a big ass black line through the word,
and that's
I
what
still got it.
And I tell people, even if you screenshot something, draw it over it, screenshot after you drew over it, and then post it. If you
Really?
You're drawing over. Listen, you're drawing over it. If you drew over it,
they know what's under there.
If it's already drawn over and you're posting it, you can't see it. Obviously, if you drew over it in your iPhone,
That is smart.
you're drawing over it in Instagram's app.
Yeah. you're
Any
right.
edits, anything that you do, it's every keystroke you make on Instagram. Even if you just click the search button,
Right.
this is all registered.
The most
This is all data.
insulting one was that we had a No Jumper live show and somebody was in the audience filming someone on stage. I can't even remember. And they said something like, "Hey, look at this pussy ass bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up," or some shit. And they were joking. They're in the crowd for a fucking live show. It's not like they were serious. They were joking around. But I reposted it on my shit and I got hit for threatening violence.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he said that on the fucking story because I had my phone on mute when I reposted it. I'm not thinking about exactly what the guy was saying, but I mean, I say that to say that
more expensive than any unban, anything that I do. The number one most expensive thing that we do is removing people's shadow ban. And again, there isn't any like set process to where it's like we do a couple things and we give you your account back. That's very easy for us. Removing a shadow ban takes a lot of time.
Really?
It's a long process and it's expensive. And usually those kind of cases we only do for friends of friends, high profile people. You know what I mean? You know a few people that we've already done those for. It's like that kind of thing for your account. Just as an example, you have two options. It's like I could give you a list of things to stop doing and stop posting about whatever, but you're not going to fucking do it. One,
I am so careful though. I'm like putting asterisks and fucking.
That's completely fine. And the ones that you already got reported will fall off over time. You know, these all that stuff will go away. And I'm telling you, you're getting reposted by some of the biggest names, and your page still isn't going crazy like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And it's for the simple reason, it's just the way. The Instagram algorithm is only going to push pages that it feels are preferable, safe. Like think about it, it's their explore page. If you even click on the Instagram explore page and if you really look at it, even the colors of the photos that are all next to each other in this video, they all even match. They all look good together. You ever notice that either?
On the explore page.
Yes, and that's why I try to explain to people the AI system that they have built is insane. Insane. Wow. Like go to your own explore pages where you'll probably end up being posted. That's where you see your friends posted on explore page.
Yeah.
The people you follow, right? The bigger name people. If you go on your explore page right now. I never go to the explore
page anymore. I don't even have my phone right now.
A lot of people don't that do what you and I do that are on social media all day, every day or whatever. And you're not making money through your Instagram account. The typical person like me that's on Instagram all day and we're making money through our DMs, I'm not ever going to the explore page, ever. Right. And even when I go, it's the biggest accounts that I follow, the most known people, and they're on there.
Right.
And it's for the simple fact is their content matches the color scheme. You know what I mean? The general color scheme, no filters. The whole filter thing kills people for their posts. 100%.
Well, it gets you less engagement when you use a filter?
100. Go on the explore page. No one has a filter on their photos.
Really?
There's no filters. The photos all just match the same color scheme that it pleases that AI bot that they're using for the explore page at that time. Mind you, Instagram is constantly updating that AI bot that they're using for the explore page based on what's going on in the world, what's being talked about, etc. That's why the time for the election, you could just type the word election only on a black screen, post it, and get the fucking story reported, right?
Really?
I mean, think about how sensitive it was back then.
Yeah, it was crazy, right?
Yeah, and think about how quiet everybody gets. Like it's a really, really, really big like wake up call. I feel like for everybody to understand. Like we don't go on Facebook, we don't have MySpace, we don't. It's just like when you ask me why does everyone trap on Telegram? Everybody gets social on Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever. God bless them. Like what they're doing, whatever. Like. It's cool and all, but again, everybody's on Instagram. Everybody. X, what they did when you asked me, you're like, oh, couldn't Instagram fix all this? They just did the same thing. Twitter was the easiest platform for me to manipulate. The easiest one for me to ban, the easiest one for me to unban, easiest one for me to claim usernames, verify you before they launch that stupid fucking paid verification, which we'll talk about for Meta in a little bit. And I'll explain to you why they did that.
Okay.
But it's like, again, he came in and he removed employees. And in 1 week, he made it completely impossible for me or anybody on my team to do any of that. I'm paying $70,000 a month in electric bills just for our servers. You know what I mean? Like we have a very, very big team, and we have a good operation going for what we do for online. It's like Instagram and all this, it became a side hustle for me in the long run. You know, I have most people come to us because, you know, they're getting their watch stolen. They have somebody that owes them money. I have every bookie here in LA that comes to us for that same thing, for recovery. You know, think about it like that. You're a public person, you know, you're a public person. You owe $100,000 for fucking sports betting, you know, and you're
What am I going to come to you? What are you going to do?
You're the bookie. You come to me and you're like, this guy owes me $100,000. Okay. Somebody like me, and you're a normal, regular, everyday Joe Schmo. You know, somebody like me that's going to come in and just like, there's nothing Instagram involved. Like, I'm going to destroy your life in this, like, in every single way possible. Like, imagine like you're perma on jury duty. You're getting signed up for the army. Your phone, every phone number that you have is going you can't live anymore. You're going to set up a payment plan. Even if you can only pay fucking $20 a month, you're going to pay. You know, that's one of the few ways that I'll like give you a few examples without me like saying something that's going to put me in fucking prison.
Right.
You know, but
well, how much of a concern is that? Because it does strike me that a lot of what you're describing sounds illegal, but it also sounds like it would be difficult for the government to make a case about, since it would just be kind of hard to follow the tracks, right? Everything
I'm saying is just a story.
Right.
It's just a story, you know, but even if every single thing that I'm saying is true, do you think any of these quote unquote drug dealers are going to come and testify against me? You need two parties for a case.
Sooner or later, though, they all end up snitching, right?
Look, you could, and I've done way worse. If you really want to go there, I've done way worse. You're 100% right. Everything that you asked me, is what you're doing dangerous? Is it this, that? 100%. I got
you like
offered,
living on the edge?
No, not at all. Like I'm not a street guy. You know what I mean? I'm not some gangster. I'm not none of that. It's just like I've got offered this opportunity to like tell this story, this about like what I do, whatever, so many times. I said no to everybody because of what you're asking me. Like, aren't you like worried about like bringing it up, talking about it? One, I feel like no one's ever talked about it. Like really, really, really like talked about what's gone on in the game and how it's happened. We've seen,
and that's why I agreed to do this, even though realistically this isn't necessarily the kind of world that you want to be drawing attention to for yourself. Like even just being adjacent to this sort of thing, because it just seems like, oh, do you really want to put yourself on the radar for people who are involved in this sort of thing?
Imagine one of you fuckers argue with Adam now and your shit's gone. You're gonna think Adam called me.
Okay, but
by the way, before the interview, you told me you were like, I will never, never. Yeah, just to be clear to everybody.
From my perspective, you were immediately offering, I can get this guy banned, I can get this guy banned. Like,
can I say who? Can I just say who?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to. China Mac. Look, Dougie, I'm just saying nothing against you, you know, like I just was trying to make Adam a little happy.
But I said, listen, if you want to do it, go right the fuck ahead. I'm not going to incentivize you. I'm not going to ask you to. I don't want to be in the position of ordering out hits like this.
I think the issue now that we brought it up and talked about it, I think it's only fair that we just put like, I won't make it permanent, but I think we put him on like a 1-day timeout just to make it, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
If you did that right when this came out, that would be fucking hilarious. I'm not ordering the hit. I'm just saying.
No, I mean during like the rollout of the clips would be badass. He's just like on timeout during it. You know what I mean? And we drop the clip of like just like a 24-hour timeout. Seems dope. I don't know.
I mean, listen, you would be realistically doing something good for the world by doing that, but I don't want to, get in that. Yeah, I'm already fucking around enough by even talking to you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna side with either one of you and say either which way, because somebody's just going to be like, oh, he's just agreeing with Adam because he's in front of him. I could care less either way. I'm telling you, I get everybody's drama that comes to me every day. Like, bro, on Christmas Eve, I had multiple people alone that were like, hey, this is my girl's page. This is her number. I was like, I want this taken down, destroyed, whatever, on Christmas Eve.
Their girl.
Bro,
why?
Bro, think about how evil this is. And we're not talking about like a couple $100. Like, we're talking thousands of dollars per one, right? So it's like, bro, it's cheaper for you. You could use that couple grand to go get a new girl, whatever. But man, like, you know how it is. It is what it is. Like, this is how some people are. They want that revenge, and I'm not going to tell them not to do it.
But what's funny about it is that they want the revenge, but they don't want any chance that they'll actually get caught putting the work in for that revenge. Because obviously, in this day and age, if you want to shoot up somebody's crib, there's a million fucking camera angles that are going to capture you going to do it. There's a whole million different reasons why you're going to get caught doing it.
This is why the Instagram ban game is so crazy. Imagine.
Because it seems like there's no consequences. And realistically, there aren't for most people, right?
Fuck the consequences for a second. Think about there's like a pizza shop right here. I burned the whole store down. It's no different than you have a fucking Instagram page that you're selling something on. You're selling dildos on it. And I banned the page.
Right.
It's the same thing. And then the pizza shop that we burned down, I tell you, I'm like, until you pay, I'm not fucking letting you rebuild it, work here, nothing. Like, I'll give you the whole store back and we'll build it for you, but you have to pay.
Right.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Like, it's look, I'll put it to you like this. I'm not going to say who, but my biggest clients who are outside of the country down south, you know, I'll say this. Those people, word for word, is what they told me. The reason that they love me so much is with me, there's no bodies. You know what I mean? Somebody owes them 400 bands. With me, they get their money back. They get to watch me make them fucking hate their life. Like, I won't get into details, but they have a very hard time for an entire year. Plus, they get put on a payment plan. They get their money back, and there's no bodies. Without me, they kill the motherfucker, and on top of that, they're still owed 400 grand. And now they're looking for their cousins, their mom, and their kids.
You've done work for the cartels?
Again, I'm not going to say who, what, but again, some of my biggest clients, the reason that they love me so much, again, I'll say it, is because there are no bodies. For that simple reason alone, it's like you're coming into a situation where it's like I'm already owed money and I have to pay me more money. You know, it's like pick your poison. You want to pay somebody that's going to recover your money for you with no bodies. You know what I mean? And very little legal consequences for you at that point, you know, or you want to hire somebody to go shoot up someone's house. Which one do you want? You know, if you're that pissed off, I mean, you can go do it that way. But I tend to see my richest clients, the richest ones in those industries that we talked about, tend to be the ones that, you know, usually they're more laid back. They're like, okay, I'm owed the money. I'll get this money. They're already multimillionaires as it is. So it's like, okay, I'll pay this guy to let him attempt to get my money back. And for me, these are services that I never even like advertise. It's just word of mouth from one person. Like, yeah, bro, I was owed 80 grand. He got it back from me. I got my watch stolen. He got it back from me.
Crazy thing is that if the cops could, it would make just as much sense to go after the person who banned the Instagram of the guy who fucking sells toys on Etsy or some bullshit. It would make just as much sense for the cops to go after that guy. They just don't have the resources. They don't even understand. They don't know what the fuck it is. Whereas going after the guy who just shot up a house, they already know how to pursue those people.
I feel like I'm doing the feds and the police a favor. I'm giving them
with this interview.
No, no. I mean, I haven't given them or anybody anything really that, you know, I gave you guys, you know, just enough to like give you an understanding of how that game works. You know,
you gave me enough that I definitely believe you.
I mean, I sent you screenshots and I sent you proof
of a bunch of people I know who I was like, you do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And even the person that connected me and you, because I like literally shall not say who, but you know who you are, and I love you so much.
I also love you.
I bet you. I'm not going to say.
Has that person gave you a lot of money over the years?
Zero, not $1.
Then why are you taking care of all of their enemies?
The person that connected you and I?
Yeah.
Look at the simple look at who connected us. Like when I met that person, they came to me like literally like distraught, worried. They're like, the other person with a 3-letter acronym, we both know who I'm talking about. Oh, this person's torturing, the same person that kept messing with your girl's page, right?
Yeah.
The person we're talking about came to me and said, oh, my page keeps getting taken down, this, that. And ever since then, I'm pretty sure you've noticed, that page never has been taken down again.
Right.
Ever.
But but that person who you're talking about, you don't want to say their name?
Who?
The
one that connected us?
Acronym?
OBN? You can throw them in there, but that kid.
What happened with that? Because there was like articles about him and shit, and then I haven't heard a ton lately.
So for me, even look, I'll tell you, I'll give it to him. You know, even me, like somebody like when I got into the industry and I got into it, like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I keep hearing this fucking name from my clients. They're coming to me and being like, this guy keeps fucking with me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, who is it? And I start digging. Obviously, I do my job. And I look into it. It's some fucking like 20-year-old in Vegas. And the worst part is when I try to like go and like pull his info, like his social security number, all this shit. He doesn't even have fucking papers. Not even a citizen. You know, he's like some little kid. And then when he called me and talked to me, I'll send it to you privately. I'll send you the voice messages that he sent me. He's literally like a kid. You know what I mean? Like, and I realized that really quick.
And he fell ass backwards into this, kind of like the way you did.
I feel like he fell into it and he had the same access, right? It's just he didn't know at all how to market it or who to like really use it with. He just took it and he's like, I'm going to use it for just complete evil and extortion.
Really?
That's what it looks like, because it's like he's faceless, right? He's not known for helping anyone with their account, this, that, recover, nothing. You know what I mean? He's just known for every single time you've heard that person's name or dealt with them or anything is them extorting somebody or taking their page down or et cetera, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like you have a lot of people that's their angle too in the game. You know, a lot of people. For me, again, just the Team Unlock group that we built alone, those people that I have in there, like, I can't explain to you. Imagine an army of just me, another army of people that are reselling and doing the same services all around the world. I have people in China, Russia, the UK. We just did a brand new student in the UK. I just posted about him today, you know, and it'll be on my main page and story highlights. But the guy's been with us for 2 weeks. You know, he just bought a fucking $40,000 watch.
Right.
Like, and again, this is because he's in the UK. That's not my market. And there's, again, the same way that there's all these people here that want their fucking accounts back. They want this. They want revenge on somebody, etc. There's a huge market for this.
You know who Punchmade Dev is?
100. Punchmade Dev has come to me multiple times.
Because, okay.
And he's bought, and for the record, fuck that guy. He's bought fake followers from me multiple times, and he's like trying to like, look, I told
Sorry,
you,
Dev,
look,
I don't know.
Yeah, but I told you I don't want to name drop people, this, that, like I don't want to say this person did that, but the only reason that like my problem with that kid at all, only issue I've ever had with him is like, cool, bro, do your little scam thing, this and that. Like I get it. I'm all for that. Not the scamming, but like you making money on social media. It's just like, I've had him try and send me people multiple times after he's used me, you know, and then he sends them to me. And then after the fact, like I'll sit there, waste my time, and imagine after the fact, I have them hit me up and be like, yeah, he charged me, and they get nothing. They hit me up telling me that they paid him for something for me to do. And they hit me up and they're like, why isn't this done, bro? I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't pay me. And they sent me a screenshot of them paying him. You know what I mean?
Because, okay, I was watching an Instagram live argument between TJX6 and Punchmade Dev like 3 years ago. And in that clip, and this is before Punchmade Dev is famous, and TJX6 keeps calling him OBN Dev. And I'm like, is it him? Or was he working with him at the time?
No. So those kids, all they did is just they'd made a little Telegram chat. Okay. You can go and whatever, find it. You can join into it, whatever. It's no different than anything else. It's like for them to call this kid OBN Dev, like Dev, I will give it to him, is a great marketer. Great marketer, A-class.
I love his music too. I'm not gonna lie.
Amazing.
Love it.
I'm not kidding. I love that shit. Like I listen to his music. I have like when I'm like, fuck you, Dev, whatever. Yes, fuck him. But I whatever. I like what he's got going on. I just don't like that scam shit. Like it's like, bro, look. Scam everyone else, just don't scam me. You see what I'm getting at? Like, how many scammer friends do you have?
Shit, probably just you and them.
Me? I'm not a scammer, though. Yeah. I'm not scamming anybody. That's fucked up.
I guess I've met a lot of like scammers over the years, but I don't really like get too deep into knowing what they're doing.
That's our number one. Who's my clients? Trappers, scammers, OnlyFans models.
Right, and so let's get into that, because that, as far as people I know who spend money to get their Instagrams back, I mean, yes, the trappers, we've seen a lot of that over the years, but I've seen the OnlyFans girls go through hell and back. Is it, like, who is it that's getting their accounts deleted?
More than anybody? I'd say more than anybody, it's usually going to be the LA drug guys. Not even, and it's only LA.
Why would a LA drug guy?
They're the easiest accounts to go down. They're just
the OnlyFans girls, because you just have to find a bunch of photos
the
that look kind of sketchy.
The OnlyFans girls, what I really like, look, the trapper guys that I deal with, a lot of time, like, because they have already that like scammer mentality in their mind about sending money on the internet, on whatever, or that bullshit. A lot of them are really hard to deal with. The OnlyFans girls are amazing. I can tell her $5,000 for her page back, $10,000. She's paying it. She's paying, and especially she came from a referral, someone else that got their page back, etc. Those are my favorite to deal with, my favorite. But at the same time, I see those a lot less now, a lot less, and they wisened up. You see, like they use Linktree, they don't post their OnlyFans link, they don't, you know what I mean? Like the same way how we brought up talking about the verbiage that you can use when you're posting about weed on Instagram, it's the same thing with the OnlyFans girls. Is they obviously wisened up and they found a way for them to be able to continue posting and doing what they want to do.
But you know what's the funniest backwards step that the OnlyFans, the Instagram world has seen is that the girls who figured out that they could post full fucking nipples as long as they had like a sheer wet fucking t-shirt over it.
Yes.
And you would just see girls getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of likes on posts from just basically being butt naked, and somehow the algorithm can't detect it because it's under a shirt. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that?
So the way when it's like anything else, like any type of AI that has anything that is supposed to recognize in the photo, it starts to recognize like the collar, the sleeves, stuff like that, and it just recognizes instantly, okay, there's a shirt over it. You see what I'm saying? And then as long as, here's the other side of it. If the nipples are very dark in the photo, it'll also get reported because it's right there.
Right.
Post a t-shirt with yourself tonight. Just a t-shirt of nipples on the t-shirt. It'll probably get flagged if you don't show the collar. You know what I mean? Like if it's a girl, like a girl's tits, basically. I'm saying it could be on your body. Sorry for hitting this. But it's the same thing. It's just that automated system is very sensitive in a lot of ways, and it's not as high tech as people think in the sense of how it's going to like pick and choose what it wants to ban. For the AI itself, it's like, think about whoever's the one that coded the commands for it. It's like they'd rather be safe than sorry, probably, right? And that's why a lot of times whenever you see your page banned, it doesn't say banned, it says suspended, and then you can appeal it, right? And for us, that's kind of the gold mine, because a lot of people click appeal and they fuck up the appeal process and they get their account where it says this account is being permanently banned, you know, and then after that, then they end up having to see us. And it's like, for me, the number one thing that I noticed with the people that need their accounts back, obviously, the number one customer is going to be the guy that's making money on Instagram. But again, for me, I love helping those people that really like actually need their page back because they had the loved one on there, whatever. They had like 200 followers. Like that's all they fucking wanted.
Because, bro, some sinister shit happens on Instagram. Like, for instance, Dave Mira, rest in peace, arguably one of the greatest BMX riders of all time, one of the most legendary BMX riders. You know, he had a real Instagram account with, I don't know, 1 million followers, some shit like that. And then he died. And then at some point his page gets fucking taken down by hackers or whoever. And so now he's got like a memorial account or whatever that has like 50K or some shit. But I'm like, bro, how dark is that? That you had this page that was devoted to everybody who cared about you during your life, and now it's fucking gone because somebody chose to mess with your account.
Yeah, and you know, the shitty part about that situation too is the only way to get his page back is like, one, somebody from fucking Meta, we could get lucky and they could hear this and they'll be like, you know what, we're gonna give him his page back. Right? They could look into it that way. Otherwise, for me on my end, like if I wanted to go and get his page back, somebody from his team or someone close to him would have to know that email address that was on that Instagram account and the phone number attached to that Instagram account. Adam, if some way you can get those 3 items, username, email, cell, then maybe
honestly, I probably could. I've never talked to his wife, but I bet I could get in touch with him.
I bet she probably has at least a close idea. It's just gonna be the number he had at the time, the email that he uses.
Many years before he passed.
Yeah, and that's very simple stuff like that. You know, it's like, but to that same token, I've had that multiple times as well. I've had people come to me and be like, "Can you unban this guy?" My friend's page, who's been passed away for some reason, I woke up one day to go look at his pictures, to look at his page, and the page is gone. Right. You know, and I was like, okay, well, I need the info that I just asked you for, you know, told you right now. And they're like, bro, I have no way to get that. So, you know, and those are the hardest ones. I'll say this. If you DM me and you say that you came from the No Jumper interview and you had a loved one, you lost a page from a loved one, I will 100% help you for free. 100%, if it's for that reason. And you have to prove it, you know, but like, those are my favorite. Okay. You know, I feel those are like my favorite to do. People geek out. People geek out when they get it back, you know, like.
So, okay, there was a dude, this is a memory that I have from shit, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago. Basically, there's a pro skateboarder named Terry Kennedy who at a certain point in his life had this guy who was like managing him, AKA had control of his Instagram account and was basically just doing a bunch of shady shit. Then Terry Kennedy catches a murder charge. So now this guy who was his manager is like using his account to basically like promote himself and do all kinds of shady.
My favorite skateboarder growing up. One of the most famous black skateboarders.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I would,
you know, I'm from Morocco myself. You know, like even being, you know, in America, like in the skateboarding scene growing up, like I grew up skateboarding. Like I only used to skate park, bowls, stuff like that. I never really skated street too much. But even growing up skateboarding, bro, just like people don't realize like racism is more alive in BMX and skateboarding than anything.
Terry was the first like LA hood skater who went pro.
That's why when you brought him up, I was like, yes, I know who.
But the only reason why I'm bringing him up is because he had the shady ass manager, and so I personally, after he got locked up for this murder charge, made it my little mission to be going on my story saying, hey, report this guy. This guy's, you know, has control of Terry Kennedy's account, and he's locked up, and he shouldn't be able to be using it in this way. Yada yada. And pretty quickly, I started to get my Instagram suspended, like 3 days in a row. It got suspended, and then I had to wait 24 hours each time in order to be able to appeal it. And then I would get it back, and then it would go away right away. And I kept fucking bitching about it on Twitter, and eventually it seemed like my account kind of got locked so that they weren't able to do this anymore. Is that how it works?
So a lot of people come and they pay us for that as well. For us, we charge a certain fee per year to whitelist you to basically like stop that from happening. So the instance you're saying, it sounds like a coincidence because of the Terry Kennedy situation plus your Instagram going down, but it could likely just have been
It was just him getting revenge on me for the fact that I was airing him out for doing shady shit.
He could have just known someone like me, and you didn't know. You have no way of knowing who somebody knows sometimes.
Right.
I'm telling you would be amazed, bro. I've had somebody come to me before and they send me an Instagram page like how much to delete this. I click the Instagram page. It's a fucking dog groomer. He messed up the dog's haircut. Like, dude, like, this is, listen, mind you, this person I know is watching this because he's a very good client of mine and a friend of mine, is worth over $200 million.
Wow.
Yes, and doesn't give a fuck, nor does he ask me how much. He sends me the page, says delete it, and he just goes, check your cell, $10,000 sent. These are the kind of people that I use. Like,
but this shit has changed, right? It feels like it's a lot harder to get people deleted now. I don't see anywhere near as many OnlyFans girls getting deleted these days.
Well, no. I mean, if you're talking about in the sense of like if they can get deleted for the nudity stuff like that, it goes back to kind of what I said. A lot of them wisened up. It's very known. Like, okay, you're a new OnlyFans girl coming up. Let's just say, I hate to use your wife as an example. Somebody comes, talks to Lena, and says, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing OnlyFans. What should I do?" What's the first thing Lena's going to tell them? Don't post this. Don't do that. So it's kind of like a general, like before it wasn't as known, you know, like you could get banned for XYZ. And now that it's so known, that's a big reason why you don't see as many bans. As far as like somebody like the person that we brought up earlier that connected us, the reason that person got banned so many times is because he was targeted. See what I mean? So that's the difference. Like it's simply that, like simply being targeted or not.
I had a realization at some point as an OnlyFans manager or whatever, that probably the best advice that I could give to any girl who wants to do OnlyFans is don't make any enemies. Don't piss anybody off, which is, it's strange advice to give because it's like literally if you piss off anyone, if you have any enemies, it's so easy for them to get in touch with somebody who's capable of getting your account deleted that you're basically going to be powerless to them. This sounds like very unrealistic advice to give someone is don't make anybody dislike you. It really encourages you to be like a shell of a human who doesn't interact in any kind of honest manner.
You would think the insurance that we sell and / protection, the yearly fee for somebody's account, this is not somebody paying us just to stay alive or stay on the platform, but this is like somebody who is like, if your account goes down, whatever, we're going to get it back for you for free. Whatever. It's not for free, but that's what your insurance is. Like you crash your fucking car, same thing. You'd be amazed. You would think the drug dealers, the trappers, these are the guys that are the scammers, et cetera. These are the guys buying that. The OnlyFans girls buy that the most, and they're getting banned less. But for them, again, it's like that's how girls are. Like if we put 10 guys in a room and we put 10 girls in a room, out of each of the group of 10 people, which gender has more of their cars insured? The girls. Okay. How many? Yes or no? How many guys are gonna have be like, I don't have insurance?
But in the words of Sexy Red, I don't buy insurance for my whip. This ain't Geico. Love that.
Did you just do Sexy Red?
I wish.
I didn't know.
I'm trying to get chlamydia. Come see me, Sexy Red. No, I was just trying to interview her back when she, like right before she popped off, and now she's fucking gigantic.
Yeah, I didn't even know you tried to.
But like,
her.
okay, there's no way that you could get Kim Kardashian account, her account gone. What is it about mega celebrities that protects their accounts?
No, it's not that they're mega celebrities. It's just, you remember when they rolled out the Meta Verified? Anybody that pays for that $15 a month bullshit Meta Verified, still, rest in peace. easy,
Okay.
no issue. But
They can still get gone.
Yeah, but again, how do we look? It's good and bad that they did that meta verified bullshit, because it's like, one, it's like, okay, the people that actually earn their verification, we all know if you're meta verified or not. You have your profile picture and you have your government name in your bio.
Right.
We know right away.
Yeah.
And only the people that earn their whatever. It sucks because
Wait,
a
what
lot
about
of people,
the profile picture? It has to be like a picture of your face?
you can't do it without a picture of your face, right? So
I didn't know that.
your profile wouldn't be able to, like, for somebody to like take down your page, bro. It's going to have to be somebody at Meta. They're not going to just let your page is going to be taken down if it's taken down by Meta. It's not going to be taken down by somebody like me, like somebody that's a mega celebrity like that, Kim Kardashian or you. It's not about mega celebrity. It's about the account being an OG verified account.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Those are hard to get rid of.
Very hard. Yeah, I mean they're possible, but you have to go through a different type of process, and you have a much like, I'll give you one example. You could copyright claim it. That's a very good way. You know what I mean? We have a lot of people that have us copyright claim YouTube videos. We make a fake Spotify song with the same exact audio that you have on your YouTube video dubbed over it in the Spotify song, and we copyright claim your YouTube video as if you're using our song.
But you probably can get that overturned, right? But a lot of people aren't smart enough
they
to
don't
do it.
overturn. Yeah, so my clients get these hate videos made of them, these little pages that are like, let me expose you, blah blah blah, this bullshit like this. They overturn it once in a while, but you know what I mean. But for us to take it down is a couple days. For them to overturn it is a couple days. You know what I mean? It's a process for both parties, and like you said, a lot of people. It's not that they're not smart enough; they don't want to deal with it. This and that. A lot of these guys are smaller creators, and honestly, they just really don't understand that they can appeal it. They kind of get the email and they start to freak out. They're like, "Oh shit!" Like, you know, a lot of people, honestly, they really probably don't even read into it. They just see their video got taken down, or like they just kind of accept it.
If you're
like,
me and you have like hundreds or thousands of people that you know who are deep into the business of social media, you could probably figure it out. But for the average person, they might just be like, "Oh fuck, this shit gone. I'm over it. Fuck it."
It goes down to the simple fact: people don't fucking read.
Yeah, that too.
They probably don't even get to the bottom of the email where it says appeal here.
A lot of people, when they get the notification saying that their account's deleted on Instagram, like you would ask, what did the notification say? And I say, I don't know. I just clicked okay. I'm like, well, you got to like screenshot those fucking messages. Those messages are important.
Yeah, I tell that to people all the time, and it's like, back in the day, what was cool is a couple years ago is you would get an email from Instagram, and the email would show like what the ban reason was, the date, time. Now you have none of that. You know, you have none of that. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, even if you don't remember the reason, it's just like I can find the reason always myself. You know, it's obviously it's our job, but it's a lot better and much more beneficial if you take that screenshot. You know, that's something to tell your friends always.
Are there
sure.
people you respect in this field, like people that have access to abilities to do things on Instagram that you don't know how to do, that you look at and you're like, damn, like that guy, he's got the keys to this fucking platform.
In terms of being able to do what?
When it comes to like account recovery, it's not like I've dealt with it directly, but I have heard some girls talk about it over the years and like describing things that different people have done on their behalf to get their accounts back and shit. And I'm just like, wow, that sounds insane. Yeah, or maybe it was the exact kind of stuff that you do. I don't know.
If you asked me that question like a year ago, I would be like so happy to give like so many different people credit that were like working with me at the time or doing stuff with me. But to be honest with you, bro, simply, I ran all these motherfuckers over, and there's nobody else that's able to do anywhere close to what we fucking do.
How do you run them over?
There's many ways, you know. It's like anything else. Like if you think about it this way, like people come to us and they pay us to take people out, right? So if I'm doing it for my own personal gain, I'm obviously going to go as hard as I can fucking go. So it's like those same people that maybe would have been competing with us or maybe helped us or we would look up to for stuff like that. It's like, again, it's just they got ran over. It's very simple. It's like nobody else. You can sell the same thing I sell. You can do the same thing I do. You could sell it for cheaper. People are going to come to me and they're going to pay more for a multitude of reasons. The track record, the way that we do business, the speed, who you're doing business with, you know. And it's not just that, the way that we took what we do and we don't just like have just the services. We're teaching people daily to do the same exact thing that I do. Like, bro, 6 years ago, I started this page living in my car. While I was sleeping in my car, I used to go and I used to park in the hospital parking garage. Or sometimes I would like go and park at the airport, because it'd be like the airport I would prefer because it was like $30 a night, you know, like to park overnight. But if I couldn't pay that, I would just park at the hospital parking garage, and I'd park there overnight. And then next morning I would go work at my construction job, do what I needed to do.
That's crazy that
You
it's
know,
that
so-
hard to find a fucking parking lot to sleep in.
And people don't understand because you want to be in at least like a safe place.
Oh, safe, yeah.
The only reason for me, I didn't give a fuck. I could have slept anywhere, but the only reason for me is because I had my tools. You know what I mean? At the time, it was like, fuck, bro, I don't want to like while I'm asleep, like, and I was like, I'm a little bigger now, but at the time I was like probably like 140 pounds soaking wet. I was like, if I wake up in the middle of the night and somebody's breaking into my fucking truck taking my tools, I'm not gonna get out and fight them. Very simple. Like that would be a huge L for me at the time.
Yeah.
That was like my whole net worth was my fucking tools, you know? So that's what I'm telling you. I try to explain to everybody, like anybody can make money on social media and not even what I'm doing. There's a multitude of ways. Some of my richest clients that I have also are faceless social media accounts, personally, these media accounts, stuff like that. Like the people that are behind all these like major meme accounts that we see getting reposted daily. These are very, very wealthy people and people don't even realize,
Really?
they don't know who it is. The owners are, we know, but it's like, again, this is what I try to really, really like show people and help them understand that why we're so much different than just somebody that's there providing those services. Like we're providing those services, but we're also like, I'm constantly every day, I have a different person that's like learning and doing the same thing that I did. And for me, like, I swear that is so much more fulfilling. Like I made my first $1 million on that app without ever showing my face.
Really?
And I didn't want to show my face just because I didn't want to I didn't have my teeth done. That's the only reason. I was like, I'm going to wait till I do my teeth and then I'm going to show my face.
Is there a part of you that's worried about...
I had horrible teeth before.
Are you worried about Facebook's possible retribution here, that they could like take a particular interest to you and potentially like shut some
Yeah,
shit down?
the thing is this, is if they wanted to, it's like... people ask me this all the time. It's people are going to know me, use me regardless because our motion is on Telegram and my number, whatever. I get more calls to my cell phone and to my Telegram than I would ever get to my Instagram. Instagram is just new people, right? Plus, I don't post about it on Instagram there like that. It's like, it'd be very hard for you to prove it either one way or the other. And it's like, if they wanted to go that route, go for it. The reason I really, really wanted to do the interview too, and I was like, that could be like a good part, like a good chance that could fuck me doing this interview. But I was like, I wanted people to really understand this. Like, I see all these interviews of like people talking about the ban unban game, and these are like my customers, these are my people like coming to me. And I was like, I really want people to understand like what's going on and like and see really what that industry is. Nobody's talked about it ever. No one's ever done an interview about it. People talk about it every fucking time on it. It's the number one social media like influencer podcast comes up at some point. I got banned, I lost my account, I got hacked, whatever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck it, just
So
let them know. It's like it's for me. If they want to come and they want to, take my account over it, this and that. It's you can't like at this point you can't take somebody out like me. It's like cockroaches. Our mentorship group alone has 280 students in it.
Really?
That each paid $7,500 just to resell my services, and when they're reselling my services, they're still paying me for that same service. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Wow.
You have another list of accounts like I explained to you earlier that. I don't have to make a single sale. They're paying just to be on the platform. I mean, you guys can kill me, like that's your only option.
Right.
You take the Instagram, you take all that, you still have to pay to be on the app. You're still paying me. I mean, don't pay and see what happens. Very simple.
It's just crazy that it's still the wild, wild west of social media, because I'm somebody who is lucky enough.
Somebody said it's the internet cartel. I don't want to ever call it that, but I think it's pretty fucking sick.
Like, I grew up all through the late 90s being on AOL, and we could do all kinds of cool shit, like, making fake AOL accounts and getting people punted off of AOL Instant Messenger and all this kind of cool shit that we thought we were badasses. I remember the early days of doing wares.
I'm going to tell you something
on social media or on AOL and getting like, downloading video games and MP3s back in the 90s.
You remember kicking off people out of Call of Duty lobbies on like Xbox 360, shit like that? Do you remember?
I didn't, but I've heard
you
of it.
didn't, but you remember like when people are doing like the JTAG shit like that. I remember back to those days. And then it made me like, when I got back into this, I was like, God damn, it's like, that's so crazy. It's like, and some of those same guys I used to talk to back then back in the Xbox days are the same guys that are behind the social media shit today.
Right.
Bro, the guy that power, like the two main reps that power the whole thing that we have going on for Team Unlocked. I'm telling you, if you saw them, you would never believe it. Never believe multimillionaires. You'd never guess that it's them. Wow. Like at all. And it's crazy. That's why I try to tell people it's, anyone can, you've watched how many people yourself come on social media and kill it and kill it. And I see so many people, I feel like now that they don't want to get on social media because they don't want to show their face. They don't do that. There's everyone on social media needs something. There's so many types of services that you can sell. There's so many different types of avenues you can pursue to make money. For me, I also have like a lot of jewelers that come to us. How many jewelers have you heard of that got their account banned?
Is that a big thing?
Jewelers banning jewelers for us, WhatsApp is the biggest thing.
Really?
WhatsApp, Telegram. If you want to talk about WhatsApp,
The
Telegram
jewelers
bans,
have WhatsApp chats or something?
the jewelers and watch dealers. That's how they operate. Is WhatsApp.
Really?
1,000,000%.
I got WhatsApp about 3 days ago to talk to a hair replacement guy.
I have your number.
Yeah. Well, I just got it. I never had it before.
Well, you could lose it. It's just as fast.
The WhatsApp.
Don't use WhatsApp.
Really?
If again, another good interview you guys can go and watch and learn about is, I hate to keep bringing up Joe Rogan, but again, Joe Rogan did one with Gavin DeBecker. This is one of the biggest security companies in the world that does private security for billionaires and their companies, et cetera. Like real security, like as in like Secret Service type of shit. And the way that, if you remember back in the day when Jeff Bezos had his divorce, right? The way that the divorce happened was they got into his phone through WhatsApp. And this program that they used back then, 6 years ago, now it's available to all of us. You go buy it on the dark web for $70,000. All I have to do is send you a WhatsApp photo. You don't have to open it, click it, nothing. And I'm in your phone.
Really?
Every keystroke. If you ever confirmed your crypto wallet and typed in, you know how you have to type in each word to confirm the entire wallet?
Yeah.
Those keystrokes are all logged.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
we run another software on top of it to go and decipher those words and look for a consecutive 24, 21, 18, whatever amount of words. It finds it, spits it back to us. We go, take the wallet and drain it.
Jesus Christ.
Multiple times.
It's like the modern mafia.
I've heard this many times, and this is why it's like I never ever thought that it would be like people. Number one thing I get asked, people think like I'm a drug dealer. Just the way we move, we go around. It's like I get that all the time. It's like, and it's not cheap. People need to realize it's like it's another thing that when I say I'm like you can't really replicate this. It's like, dude, I'm paying 20, 30 grand a month just in security alone. The money's there. To pay for it and to cover it, but it's not, this is not something that it's like you wake up into like, this shit snowballed into something I never could imagine. All I wanted to do originally when I started this was sell a couple unbans on the side, you know what I mean, and make a couple $1,000s here and there. That's it. And it turned into something I never imagined. And then obviously like you meet better people, you meet this, that, and then for me, like a huge moment was like, obviously I asked myself, I'm like, I'm dealing with these quote unquote hackers, banners, whatever. I'm like, where are these motherfuckers? So I flew to India, and I flew to India and I went to those hacker cafes myself. I'm not Indian. I don't speak the language, nothing.
You just randomly go to these hacker cafes?
I took somebody with me that speaks the language, obviously. And I went there and I went to meet the guy that I was already dealing with, because he told me, he's like, I can introduce you to other people there, this, that. And that trip alone, just the amount of contacts I got, the people that I got to use from that trip. And obviously like when I went there, everybody there is just like, it made me realize like really how that game is. I went there, I think I'm going to meet like a Adam 22. I get there, they're all fucking like 15-year-olds and 13-year-olds.
I would be scared to go to an Indian hacker cafe. It just sounds like something bad could happen there.
Imagine sending $60,000 to $70,000 a month in Bitcoin to India for your server rooms and for the people you have there. But I have like, that's why I also try to explain to people is like, people need to realize very quick, like when they say job security is fucked in America, it is. Like you can get, I hate to say I'm not trying to scare your staff, but you could get probably half of your staff to like be replaced just by Indian virtual workers. I'm not joking.
I read the 4-hour workday back in the day, and they thought about that.
And they work longer and harder. I swear to God, that the business manager, the motherfucker Travis, I threaten him with it all the time.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to have hanging over your head.
You got to keep them around, bro.
Yeah,
you got to keep them around.
There's certain things that you just need real life employees. I know.
Shout out Travis, man. That's one of the biggest like biggest moves I feel like I made 2023, 2024. It was right at the end, was having him come in and really like take over everything so I could focus on what I was doing. I didn't even like realize how much I grew. You know, like, dude, I spent a year. The last year was the busiest year of my life. Every single sale, imagine I took it through DMs, through, you know what I mean? Through just one by one, no payment processor, no like website to go to, nothing. But now they have a website to go to, unlockedforlife.com with the number 4, you know, and they can go and they can do whatever they want to do on there and see what's available. But before, like he told me I was nuts, you know, like if we can bleep, I'll tell you. So, but if we can bleep the dollar amount, you know, I did 2023.
Jeez.
With screenshots, all through Zelle, Cash App, crypto, not one credit card. And every day I have people that want to pay. You know, a lot of people, like, I've probably lost $1 million in sales just in people that want to use a credit card, you know, because they feel more safe, they can dispute it, whatever. And people ask, I say no, they're like, I'm not Zelling you Cash App, you know what I mean? I had that for a long time, and that was a big reason why I set up the site. That way people now can go on there and everything gets filled instantly. They go, they click one thing, you know, and everything that they have on there gets filled instantly.
So when you inevitably make like $1 million as a result of this interview from all the people that are going to tap in with you, you're going to come drop that bag off on me, right?
I'm going to bring you an unlock chain. That's the first thing. You'll see them on my page, the ones that I made. I'll make you a big one like mine first.
I don't wear jewelry.
That'd be first thing. But like, I don't think you want me to say a dollar amount or a bag amount because of the IRS. Also.
Yeah, don't tell them.
Yeah, but
Cash would be great.
100%, you have my word.
We'll leave it at the casino.
Yeah, no, like, bro, you have to think, like, for me, I was saying that to your team when I walked in, how surreal it is for me to come into this place, especially when you're so. The reason I also feel like I did so well is because I was so into the culture. I was just I was a normal person, right? I'm into, you know, the regular life culture, whatever, and it's like you grow up watching like No Jumper. Remember, this is back like when you first started out too, and you were getting big. Drama Alert was big back then. Like all these different channels. I'll never forget like all the like. Seeing all that and then to now and then me walking in here, I'm telling you, is the craziest. Like, I didn't get nervous. Like everyone asked me, like, are you nervous? I was like, I'm not nervous. I just, whatever he asked me, he's going to ask me. Well, I'll talk to him. I was like, I feel like it's a conversation. And the second I walked into the door, you know, like I saw this, I was like, holy shit. Like we're here. You know what I mean? That was like the biggest thing for me. It's like, it's so surreal. Like I really, really try to explain to people how easy it is. Like you said, the money I'll make after the interview is one thing, but really, really think about what I did before with no interviews, no promos, no nothing, just word of mouth, local trap community, which you know better than anybody in the underground world. That's the hardest thing to come up in, the hardest thing to come up in and build trust and have a good name, a good track record. You know what I mean? Like that for me, like I value that more than anything. There's been multiple times people have paid me and we couldn't, like, obviously maybe it was a page that for whatever reason we couldn't get it back. It's too long gone. We refund them. We give them the money back. There was times also, it's so crazy how like the world works. It's like the one time I had to refund someone was like when I was like low on like liquid cash, and it's like I was like, fuck bro, this $5,000 refund like sucks right now because it's like they paid 2 weeks ago. The sale in your head is done. You know what I mean? I'm refunding now. And like those little things that I've done have been the things that are like perpetuated me to now, I feel like. And I wouldn't change any of them, man. It's like, it's so crazy also when I sit there and I look back on the last year, I sit and I see like at the beginning of the year versus now, just the way people like come to DM me. Before people come, they like sit there, ask me like a million questions. Now people come, they're like scared to DM me. People more times than not DM me from a page with 0 followers, 0 pictures, 0 everything, because they're scared. Like if I get upset, I'm gonna like ban the page that they're DMing me from.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, it's insane. Like the way that things have turned out for me in that last year has been crazy.
Definitely crazy. Well, this is definitely a comment section that I'm very, very excited to listen to.
I told him I'm not going to read them.
Really?
I don't think I want to.
I love reading the comments.
No, I'm
not really worried about what the comments are going to say about me so much as I'm just wondering what the comments are going to think of you and this whole business model. I just want to know what the fuck the fans are going to have to say about it.
Look, I'll tell you like this. You'll have a very, like, I feel like you have a very simple narrative as far as people's reactions is like, I feel like even though the shock factor is so high of what we talked about and what we brought up, and mind you guys, I didn't even give you 10% of some of the craziest stories. Maybe we'll run it back and I'll give you like, even more crazy ones if this one does well. But
Let's do it.
There's so many things that are in this game, and I feel like because it's the first of its kind, it's going to be hard to hate somebody like me. If anything, you guys should be thanking me and telling you and explaining to you like how this shit works. You know, it's like, it's very, very simple. Like all this, like again, I'll say it, this Instagram ban, unban, all this shit that they have going on. If they wanted to fix it, they would fix it. Who knows? Maybe this interview goes retarded and they end up fucking fixing it and I'm out of business. If it does, so be it, you know, but again, these are the things that I've always told people all the time. I feel like that they leave this industry for a reason. There's no fucking way that I went and made the amount of money that I've made for the last couple of years on Instagram and did what I did. And bro, I publicly posted. Like I showed you, like I'm literally made people send me apology videos. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like there's no way not one person at Instagram knows what's going on or has seen what's going on. I just feel like, you know, for them, what the fuck do they care? I unbanned your account that you're using to trap on, and you're paying $30,000 a month to Instagram for ads. These guys go on Instagram, they put the ads to $1,000 for 30 days. You know how they are. You know better than anybody. Like these guys have a lot of money to spend. They don't give a fuck, you know? So it's like, what the, like, this is what I tell people. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong, and they don't care about the money at all, and they do want to clean up their thing. But if you remember, if we want to go there, the whole, I'm not going to say the name, but the whole thing, if you remember almost a year ago, the whole big thing that came out about verification, the guy that was selling verifications, basically. Remember people did stories about it?
Yeah. Who was it? I forget.
Adam Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when that happened, conveniently 3 months later, Meta Verified comes out.
Yeah, right.
So again,
they realized that a lot of people were making money selling verifications. They were like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they were also observing Twitter do the
I
exact
won't be
same
surprised.
thing.
They take out Unlocked, and Instagram launches their own service that goes, you want to delete this guy's account?
Imagine that was a section.
Imagine, like,
That's a good.
yeah, no, I'm telling you, who knows? But look, I'll put it this way. I'm not trying to say that they need the money that bad, but it's kind of fucking convenient that the day they dropped it was all over the news. They made $600 million.
Well, they have no customer service, and then you basically just have to pay for basic customer service, right?
That poor schmuck could have worked for the next fucking 100 years. He's not going to make $600 million on verifications. You see what I'm getting at? Like, he could have worked for the rest of his life. He's not going to make that kind of money.
What happened to him?
Huh? He's still, again, he's still working.
Doing his thing?
Still working. Still working. This... You take the page all you want. These guys still have their clients.
Yeah.
They still have clients. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm fucking God and I'm just going to have every client in the world. No, there's multiple people that do that. There's a lot of people that are more so underground and they want to keep it that way for multiple reasons.
I just can't wait till I even posted on my story that we just did this interview, because I know that there's going to be mad people DMing me being like, what the fuck? Like, I hate that piece of shit, or I fucking, that guy saved my life, or whatever. I just can't wait to see what reaction I get from this.
Yeah, no, you won't get a lot of the hate.
Oh, okay.
I really don't, because also you have to keep in mind, anybody that ever tried to say they hate me isn't on Instagram anymore. None of my high school teachers, by the way, have been on this app for the last 2 years.
Really?
I'm very petty.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so put it that way. And if somebody does send you a hate comment, send me the screenshot, please.
Oh, okay. Deal. That's a good idea.
If you're brave, send them the hate
Bunch
comment.
of DMs just got unsent right there, probably. All right, man. I'm very excited to see the fallout from this. Let's definitely run
Likewise.
it back if we feel like we need to. but yeah, it was good meeting you.
I got more for you, but yeah,
I'm gonna be real
brother.
with you. I respect the hustle, even though I can't necessarily justify it on a moral level.
At the end of the day, love or hate the hustle, you can't knock the fact that I found something that's completely unique. I found something that was needed by everybody. I capitalized on it and I made money. That's the American dream. I was homeless a couple years ago, and I went from that to having millions of dollars for myself and having a great life. The same parking garage that I used to park my car in is the same parking garage that I drove my newborn baby out of 3 months ago in my Rolls Royce.
Wow.
So life is very, 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 very crazy. And all I'm trying, like, I will leave it with this message, bro, is anything is possible on that app. Whether you're doing what I'm doing, whether you're doing what you're doing, look at what social media did for your life, for my life. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I would rather this interview more so be, that's, you know, for social media and this and that. Like, that's what I'll highlight. Meta, Facebook, I don't want no smoke with y'all. I love y'all. Yeah, like
Same.
Yeah,
But also
guys.
take the flags off my account because that's just annoying.
We'll talk about that.
Okay, I'll send you the screenshot so you can
that's
check it out.
easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. Don't get mad at us for fixing that.
All right. Appreciate you so much, man.
Likewise.
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support.